Hey, how you doing? This is me, Chris. I am the director of Unreal Engine Institute.com, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about PGS because it's really interesting. Although, to be quite honest, it might be called PSP. It could be anything. I don't know. I keep calling it PCG. I think that's what it's called. It's the procedural system in Unreal Engine. I'll check before I put the title up on the video. Either that, or I'm going to get some really strange people turning up who, are very disappointed about this tutorial. Anyway, back to what's at hand. So, I haven't done any tutorials in a little while, not proper ones anyway. This is just going to be a nice short one on PGC. I'm going to show you how to basically set it up. So, what I'm doing is I am just going to go onto my desktop. There we go. And I've got a nice little area here that I'm going to be working in. And in my content browser, just over here, I have created a folder called my PGCs, and then in this one, this is a cave interior debris, okay, because that's what I want to make. So inside of here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and create a new blueprint, and it's going to be an actor for the parent because I want to place it in the world like an actor, and it's not on strike like the current actors. So this is BP, and we'll come up with a cunning name for it. So Interior Cave Rocks. I should probably put PCG at the beginning as well. PCG, there we go. There, so BP, PCG, Interior Rocks, Debris, whatever. Okay, Control and S, and I'm also going to create down here, if I go to PCG, because I've got the PCG plugin turned on, a PCG graph. Isn't that exciting? I'll call this PCG Cave Interior Cave Rocks. I know it's a bugger on typing the big long things, but you know what? It gets the job done. Okay, so PCG Interior Cave Rocks. So I'm going to go into my BP PCG Interior Cave Rocks here. I'm just going to double click on it, and that will open a blueprint one day. It can take a while sometimes when you've only just opened Unreal Engine and you've got quite a large project folder. And this is my live project folder for the wiki as well. So anyway, I'm going to add spline. There we go there, utility spline. And I'm going to drag this over the top of default scene root just to kill it. Then I'm going to add a PCG component. There we go, procedural PCG, just there. Now my PCG, if I scroll down, is going to ask for a graph, and I can either select it this way or just drag it in. So I think I'm just going to PCG Interior Cave Rocks. That's the one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Excellent. Now I can compile and save. And now if I double click on PCG Interior Cave Rocks, I have both blueprints open at once. Crikey, crikey, and crikey. Okay, so what I need to do next is go back to my PCG Interior Cave, and at the minute our spline is a lovely straight thing. So I'm going to right click on it, and let me see. Actually, I'm just going to do this manually. So I'm going to grab this point. Oop, that's the curvy point. Grab the other point. There we go. And I'm just going to hold Alt and drag, Alt and drag, Alt and drag, like so. And then I'm going to close this spline. So if I come over here, close loop, that closes our spline up. And you can make this any shape you want. It doesn't need to be big, because this is basically the shape we're just going to drop in, that we then adjust to make all our wildest dreams come true. Hello dog, how are you? That is my Unreal Institute dog. Sorry, Unreal Engine Institute dog down there. Okay, so I now have this in my scene. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get my spline data in my PCG. So get spline data. And what I'll also do is I'll drag my blueprint into my scene like that. So it's going to be handy to be able to see it. There we go. So I know it's kind of small and just at the edge here, but we'll have to make do because this has taken up quite a bit of real estate, isn't it? I'll move it a bit. There we go. Okay, so get spline data. And this is set to self, so it's going to get its own spline data. Marvellous. Okay, so that's the first difficult bit done. If we turn on debug, you can see that it's actually doing the whole lighting up bit because it is identifying the spline that it's linked to. So that means it's working. Hooray. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is get data from the spline, so we're going to use our spline sampler. Here it is. Now to turn debug on, I'm just going to hit D. Again, you can see our debug, it's got more on the edge. But instead of that, I would like mine to be, let's see, on interior. There we go, now we can see they're all lovely and big in the interior here, like so. And if I come down, interior sample spacing is, well, I'll reduce that maybe to 25. And what else? Project onto surface? Nah. But I'm going to change the interior density fall off, so I want it more dense at the middle and less dense on the outside. So I'll open this graph by double clicking it. And I'm going to put in two keys, so shift and click twice. And my first key has a value of 0 and a value of 1, so 0 seconds in, or 0 seconds in, yep, a value of 1, hit return, and the second one has a time value of 1 and a value of 0. Ooh, lovely straight line. So what I'm going to do then is select this and change this to an auto, just so that I can adjust, sorry, user, just so that I can adjust the Bezier on this, actually, there, auto. This one as well. There, much nicer. So that gives us a bit more of a curve, which is handy. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to click out of this. I'll just close it down, and it should be stored over here. So I'm going to hit save, and now you can see we've got a kind of a white density coming outwards. Okay, so we have more density in the center, less density on the outside. Brilliant. Okay, the next thing I need to do, just check down here that I don't have anything else that I need to turn on. I do not. Brilliant. Okay, so next I need to adjust my density. So I've got a couple of different ways I can use that. A density filter, for example. Now I'll turn off D on this one and turn D on that one. And if we do, you'll see that we only have the middle now actually visible. Hello, the middle. So I'm going to change this to maybe 0.2 for the lower bound and 0.4 for the upper bound, and that'll give me an outer ring, and then I'll invert it. Okay, so density filter. Next, after the density filter, I want to also just filter it full stop onto, let's see, I've done this before on a different one. Let me just pull out my previous one just so I can remember, because even I need reminders, genius as I am, I know. So this is my biomass spline. There we go. Quite a beauty, isn't it? Transform points, density filter, and yeah, okay. Brilliant. Density noise. So do one that goes in before the density filter, so let's put a density noise in. My apologies, I'm making a mess of this. You'll be like, oh Chris, why? Okay, so let's see, gotta get the right one. Interior cave, that's biomass, so make sure I've got the right ones there. Okay, density filter, and what else? No, we've got density filter, haven't we? Unless I'm going to put two density filters on, which seems a little bit hefty. Suppose I could do some noise. There we go, density noise. I'll apply that before. That goes there. That goes there. No. There we go. Lovely. Okay then. So density noise. Just going to turn off all these various things that are still on. This is aggravating. Just have to look at the darned things down here, won't I? Debug off. Debug on. Debug off. Debug on. There we go, brilliant. Okay, so now I want to look at this density noise. So that's a debug on. And I'm going to check this to a much lower amount. Like way lower amount. 0.025, 125. There we go. Okay, so if I now apply my density filter, turn it back, change this to 0.015 and this to 0.02. No, 0.3. No, 1. It's one of them days, isn't it? .03, that's what I'm looking for, maybe 0.02, 0.025, 0.29, 0.028, there, about that size. That will do me. Okay, so we've got the noise now on the density, and the density filter, and yes, that was an awful lot of effort for what we're doing. Let me see. I'll reduce the interior border sampling as well to 25. Okay, so back over to here, and we are going to generate mesh. Okay, so static mesh spawner fab. Where am I going to get my static meshes from? Let's go look for some rocks. Now, I think I have an island over here, and inside here I should have some meshes. Rocks, there we go. Can't go wrong with some lovely rocks. Big ones are that one, that one, that one. That one's okay as well. Yeah, we've got these 5 then. Okay, so I'm going to add that there 5 mesh entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and start with this one. Even though these two are, I'm going to not use anything that says low. In fact, I think that's probably important, so I think they're both the same rock. C. B. There we go. Just putting it in here. So this is assigning the meshes to basically each one of these slots. So what it's going to do is it's going to select from those when it's placing these, which is going to give us a nice variety. Let's just say a nice variety. I'll use these boulders as well, because why not? So there we go. So now if I come back to this, you can see that we've got these rocks placed in our scene, which is lovely. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just let me see. I'm going to do some let me see, I don't want density filter, I want points. I want to transform my points, so I'm going to transform. There we are. So apply scale, transform points. Here we go. That's the one we want. Take that off. Bye bye. Put that one back on. Hello. Right, I'll take debug off there because we don't need it anymore now that we've got this on. And in transform points, let's get a little bit creative. So offsets. We're going to offset on X and Y by a negative and maximum of 15. So there's going to be basically up to 15 centimeters of movement on the left and right, and we'll have a maximum inside of -5. Okay, so that works. No absolute offsets. Rotation minimum. So I'm going to put -3 degrees, -3 degrees, and then for this one, -90, -3. Oh no, that's a +3. Sorry, 3, and then 90. And then for scale, we'll have a scale minimum of 1 and a scale maximum of 2. There we go. So that gives us a little bit of variation. I'm not too fond of some of these rocks, but that will do. Excellent. So save. Next, I'm going to take a slice of this goodness here. So Control C, Control V, pop those into there. And for this one, I'm going to change my density filter. If you recall, it was 015028. So what I want to do now is instead start at maybe there to there. is to give us the spread of smaller rocks, and then for transform points, scale minimum 0.4, scale maximum 0.6. So now we start to get a much better look for this. So we've got large rocks and small rocks. Excellent. Okay, and then let's make a third layer. So we can just Control V because we've still got it in the buffer. Still using pretty much the same rock, so I'm going to add a few variations to it in this next one. So let's go in here, density noise. I'm going to unplug these two just so I can see it a bit better. Go to the transform and change this to 0.1 to 0.3. Okay, so these are small rocks. As you can see, we're not getting many at the moment. So let's change our density filter, upper bound, lower bound to 0.1. And I'm going to change this to debug as well, I think, so I can see it. 0.1, 0.3. 0.24 do. So we've got density filter, we've got the density noise over here. So let's just reset that. I can actually smell something cooking and it smells really, really nice. So go figs. Turn that off, turn that on, just have a look at it. I think there's too much noise on this. I'll do. There we go. Okay, density filter. Do I even want the density filter on? Let's look at that one. I don't really want to change the noise, I can help it. Now that's good. I like that. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. Okay, so I could do a second copy of my spline sampler here, to be honest, because I'm going to be doing something that requires this to have it all to itself. So if I go into my spline sampler here, I can start mucking about with these a little bit. And transform points. Let's reduce the scale 0.1, 0.2 maximum, so I'm getting these kind of shapes here, which I like. I want to increase this density a bit. About there will do. Save. Okay, so now I can reconnect these things to each other. I'll just disconnect this one for a minute. Okay, so now we've got the big rocks and the little rocks all kind of working together. Let's have a look at this. Save. And compile and save. Okay, and stop. Right, so this is now our PGC internal lovely rocks. Let's make a copy of it. We get a new look every time, which is rather lovely. Okay, so for this one, let's say I want to go down a cave corridor. Add a spline point here. Let's bring that one out as well. Another spline point here. Okay. It's definitely worked the way that I want it to. I want to cull them a little bit more than I already am. So the only thing I can see here that I do want to change though, so if I go to Content Browser and go to my PCGs, PCGs, here we go. This is my Cave Interior Debris. I'll open up my PGC Interior Rocks. And let's have a look over here. So, hi fellas, there we go. So, spline sampler. 0.15. There we go. 0.1. I see them. They are very small stones indeed. Okay, so 1.1, 1.25. Change that one, and then this one. Right. I don't really want these huge rocks everywhere because they're a little bit hazardous. There. Really low setting, which is a bit orcs. I think we have to have some very specific conditions now so that a big rock will spawn in. There. Better. So not too many now. Those secondary rocks need to be reduced there. So that's a bit better. And put the size here. I love tweaking these things. Sorry, I'm just tweaking and tweaking and tweaking this because I'm just enjoying it. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I just get caught up in the details. You know what it's like. You just start enjoying yourself a bit too much, I think. There we go. That will do. Right, so I've still not got enough filler in here. That's better. There's that as well. And the density filter probably needs to go a bit more towards the middle. Maybe invert that. Yeah, I thought as much. There, that'll do it. And plenty of lovely rocks. I want to reduce them a little bit. Maybe a density noise will help. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it does. Okay, so I've just copied and pasted in a density noise from over here, and if I save now, it looks a lot more even, which it didn't before, so that's a help. Okay, so there's only one thing I can do now, and that's see how well it does or doesn't work. And as you see, I've now got two of these, and the good thing is that I can, you know, overlap them and stuff. I don't care. So, see that? The two of them now are kind of merging together there. Beautiful. Let's move this arm over here. There we go, and that's just a simple, well, simple-ish, procedurally generated kind of mesh. So, rock detail on the inside, etc. These are all facing in the same direction, aren't they? That's peculiar. Okay, that's definitely something I'm going to have to fix before we go away. So, Content Browser 2, let's go to that, because we always fix our mistakes. That's an old 3D palettes thing. PGC interior, let's have a look at the transform. Minus 90, 90, minus 90, 90, minus 90, 90. Should be rotating. It really should, and it isn't. Let's give it a little bit more leeway. 0, 270. And I'll just save and move this away, so it's out of the way over here. I can definitely smell something's being cooked in my my thing. There we go. Scale min 1, scale max 2. Let's look at the scale of this. 0.4 maximum. I'll reduce that. 0.3, 0.5. There we go. Done. Okay, so that makes it look a little bit better. So if I right click, place them here now. Yep, lovely. Just uneven ground, which is exactly what I want. And then this, which is a little bit more legible, but there you go. Yeah, that works great. Okay, well, hope you found that useful and beneficial. One of the things that I try and get across is that, you know, it's good to know how things work, but most of all, it's important to kind of fiddle around and experiment with stuff, you know, because it's fun. So have fun using PCG, and I hope to see you on Unreal Engine Institute. I'm going to click there and say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.